Hi everyone, welcome to the series A Brief Guide to the Thesis Write-Up. So by watching these videos, you can write your bachelor's, master's or even PhD thesis in a convenient way, whether you are doing your degree under science or arts. So this video is about writing chapter number 1 of your thesis. Writing chapter number 1 is about introduction of a thesis. So in order to clear some ideas, we have supposed a thesis title, hypothetical thesis title, which is structural and electronic properties of two-dimensional graphene using density functional theory. We need to write chapter number 1, which is about introduction. So first of all, we need to write with the preface. Preface is usually about a book, but you can write it about a thesis, which is a kind of book. Up to one page about the main field under which you are writing your thesis. Discuss aims and scopes in a shorter way. So, chapter number 1 is the most tricky and difficult chapter to write. So, you can conveniently write this chapter by using this technique. So there are some essential headings and there are some topic specific headings. Essential headings means there are some headings that you must use in your chapter number 1, and topic specific headings depends on the title of your thesis. Essential headings, let's talk about the essential headings and whether you are doing your thesis on any topic. These essential headings are the soul of the chapter number 1. So they are research background, in which you have to talk about the most important works. You can talk about both theoretical and experimental works carried by other researchers on the same or similar topics. Another important essential heading is the problem statement. You need to provide a shorter and clear writing on issues that need to be researched. Another important heading is research objectives, which is about the aims of your thesis. Scope of the research is about what kind of problem and up to what extent your research will cover the problem. So it is basically the boundary of the research. For example, for this hypothetical thesis title, we have structural and electronic properties. So one need to calculate structural and electronic properties. So if you try to calculate if optical properties, for example, so that is not the scope of your thesis. Optical or magnetic properties, they are beyond the scope of the research in this case. Then significance or the importance of the research that you are carrying. Another important essential heading is the thesis outline. You can draw this thesis outline and you can improvise and you can modify according to your thesis requirement, or the title of your thesis. Secondly, there are some topic specific headings that you need to identify from your title. For example, for this post title, we have term two-dimensional. It means that the material the material that is used in this thesis is a two-dimensional material. So we can talk about the classification of materials based on dimension. So there can be 0-dimensional material, 1-dimensional, 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional materials. So these are subheadings. You can write about those subheadings. And it's not about headings. You can also use figures or plots that can effectively increase the length of your thesis. Another topic specific heading is physical properties of materials. So for example, for this thesis, structural and electronic properties that are part of physical properties. So you can talk about physical properties. The term density functional theory, which is used, is actually the methodology. So one can write about the density functional theory, which is a theoretical technique. And in your introduction, you can write about different experimental techniques also. So in order to achieve structural and electronic properties, one should know what are the ways to explore physical properties, and that can be done by two ways: by experimental techniques or by theoretical techniques. And for this supposed title, the theoretical technique is density functional theory. So you can write about topic specific headings, and you can identify from your thesis, and you can write about those headings. So let's have a look from an actual example from an actual PhD thesis. So here is the introduction, and you can see that there are some essential headings like research background, and then there are some topic specific headings such as spinal compounds, importance of spinal compounds. So again, 1.4 is the essential heading, 1.5 research objectives, 1.6 scope of the research, 1.7 significance of the research, 1.8 thesis outline. These are essential headings that must be in your thesis. That's all.